my work is so much about men needing to keep their testosterone levels in a healthy level. That's the masculine energy in both men and women. We have a masculine side, and it's expressed with the hormone testosterone. And then we have a female side of us, which is expressed with, associated with estrogen. And so whenever you're on your female side, you're making estrogen. If you're on your male side, you're making testosterone. And we've done a whole show on that in the past. And I think that people to know, learning about that, I have this book called Beyond Mars and Venus, which is realizing that one of our challenges today is women are on their male side too much. And how can they come back to being happy, feeling more love, feeling more abundant? So how to get back over there, how to use your relationships to get back over there, and certain mindsets that help women come back to producing more estrogen at the right time of the month. At other times of the month, they should be producing more progesterone. And so that's when PMS happens and irritability and bad things happen at that time. So to understand that whole schedule of how women's hormones have to change, and what can get in the way is being too far on the male side. You can't make enough of the female hormones. For men, it's a little more simple. It's if men make too much estrogen, their testosterone goes down. Estrogen is all addictions. Whenever you're depending on something outside yourself too much, your estrogen goes up. And for men, too much means so dependent on others that you're not feeling dependent on yourself enough. So you have independence, your male side, dependence, your female side. We all have to find a balance of that. And the number one biohack for that. Now, my book's filled with a lot of behavioral biohacks, and you can get all that information at my website. It's all there. But what's not yet fully illustrated there is something that I wish everyone could know about, and that's the number one cause of men's low testosterone is belly fat. As they get older, their testosterone levels go down because their estrogen goes up, and estrogen puts on belly fat for men. Once the belly fat is there, it just keeps producing estrogen, which puts on fat. Function of estrogen, one of its many functions, is to store fat so that when if you ovulate, your estrogen naturally goes higher and higher. Your body has to store fuel to make a baby in case you get pregnant. So for men, they have too much estrogen. The symptoms are anger, fight, flight, irritability, grumpy, procrastination, addiction. And that only increases in his life. And there's little he can do about it unless he gets rid of his belly fat. And now for women, what belly fat does is suppresses their emotions. You'll see women who have very suppressed emotions, because they have trauma. If you've had childhood trauma, often you'll put on a lot of weight to protect yourself from feeling that trauma. So if you get rid of belly fat, then you'll have way more estrogen because you'll feel more vulnerable. Vulnerability produces estrogen. And then, my books teach you how to be vulnerable, ask for help, get support, feel loved. But you can't even get the full benefit of making estrogen if you have, once again, for women, belly fat. So why I can talk about this now, I know it's a very triggering thing for people. They feel so powerless as they get older to get rid of belly fat. But it's the healthiest thing you can do for your body and for your heart and for your mind. And Dr. Arciero has written a book on protein pacing. And what he found is that by practically doubling the amount of protein you eat in a day, every 4 hours, you're eating protein, say for a month, you'll lose 15 pounds of belly fat.
Oh, amazing.
You'll lose fat. If you need to lose it, you'll lose fat, but you'll build muscle mass. There's no diet plan ever in history where you eat more and lose weight and build muscle mass. And he has 3 different peer-reviewed studies. That's what's exciting to me. It's not just someone saying it, because there's no diet plan that has peer-reviewed studies that can cause you to lose weight and build muscle mass at the same time without exercise. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. All my friends are doing it now, and my family members are doing it. You can't believe it.
Wow. And you're seeing it work for them?
I'm seeing it work for everybody. It worked for me in 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. The reason I was most motivated is it's very well known that if you let your belly relax and let it fall out, okay? You measure that. For my size person, if you're 40 inches, you're at risk for heart attack. You know, I have a little waist down below that, but if I let my belly come out, I was 40 inches. And I
Oh,
went down to 37 inches in 3 weeks, basically, which, and for me, I was a big fan of intermittent fasting. So many today are into intermittent fasting, which is lowering the calorie content. You know, you're going for, there's benefits to short fasts. If
mhm.
you're living, you know, for 10, 15 years, when I started intermittent fasting, my belly went away, but gradually it came back and it got a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. And then when I hit 70, my energy level started to drop. And I just wasn't giving my muscles enough fuel.
Oh,
There's a condition that happens to all of us as we get older where we lose muscle mass.
yeah.
And that's why you see people have less energy. Your energy comes from your muscle mass. and and it's a metabolism. So your metabolism slows down whenever you deprive yourself of food. So you never want to go too long without food. And so in protein pacing, you reverse that. Within a short period of time, you raise your metabolism back up by eating lots of food. And
Wow.
there's more to it, is that to eat that much protein, like 160 grams of protein, this is 35 grams of protein 3 to 4 times a day. You do it right when you first wake up and you do it an hour before bed. And then you could just have two normal meals with a little extra protein.
Okay.
And you start losing fat, building muscles. It's outrageous. And it's tested out, it's proven, everybody gets the benefit. I'm talking to all the people who've done it before me. It really, really works. It's not just that. You do 5 days of that. It's called protein pacing, stacking it up. So you can never feel hungry. Okay, so every 4 hours, you're eating some protein. Okay, so protein.
Mhm.
And now the protein, if you want the best results, you get a form of whey protein that's not dead, it's undenatured. Undenatured whey protein means it hasn't been heat processed a huge amount.
Mhm.
Then you take hot water, not hot, warm water, 100-degree water, and you get a protein powder, a whey protein powder, which has enzymes already in it. 5 different enzymes are in it. And you take 35 grams of that protein with the enzymes and you put it in the warm water and you let it sit for 30 to 45 minutes, ideally 45 minutes. What happens is it incubates. That means that literally those proteins get digested and they break down to amino acids. So what you're getting then is 91% to 95% absorption of amino acids from your protein. Normally, when people digest protein, they get 10, if it's plant protein, only 10% of the amino acids. If it's a, meat protein, you might get 20 to 30%. If it's a protein powder, you'll get 15%. But what they measured, you can measure how much assimilation happens, because if you eat meat, you always have like 60 to 80% toxic die-off that your kidneys have to get rid of. Well, you don't get any of that when you incubate your protein, because eating that much protein would not be good for your kidneys unless you incubate it. And then your kidneys, you're not getting protein, you're just getting amino acids produced by your body. I mean, well, produced by the enzymes and then putting it into your body fresh. So this amazing system, everybody can do it. I mean, people have like 60 pounds, 80, 100 pounds. They'll keep losing. I can't keep losing. I'm just like, I got my abs back,
Wow.
abs are, everybody's got abs. It's just you got fat covering it up.
Yeah.
So just, do a few push-ups and so you got these great abs. Uh,
Yeah.
this is for everybody can do this. I want to shout it from the rooftops, but of course, my main focus is not the obesity clinic, it's the hormone problems. Men have low testosterone, women have low estrogen, they fall out of love. If you're married, what happens is you make this magical hormone called prolactin, and it frees you from sexual addiction. But it also, so you're not interested in sex anymore. You see so many couples that lose interest in sex. But what it does, it's not losing interest in sex, it's losing interest in having sex with other people. But if in your relationship with your partner, you have polarity, which is men are more masculine, women are more feminine, that polarity is like magnetic poles that are attracted to each other. So you maintain the attraction. You can maintain attraction for a lifetime, which is what I did for 32 years with my wife, Bonnie. I'm remarried now. The attraction is always there, but I have no interest in sex at any other time. It's the most wonderful thing to be a guy and not ever get horny, but then when you get with your partner who you're made a commitment to, you feel that attraction. So to be attracted to one person, historically, it was much easier to be in a monogamous, committed relationship because men were more masculine and women were more feminine. You know, when I'm down in like when I was in Ecuador, I was in the Amazon living with these Ashwar Indians. They have sex every night, their whole lives. Okay, it's amazing because women are doing only female things in the day. Men are only doing masculine things, like they do the jungle work, the dirty, dangerous, difficult activities. Women, they don't want to do that. They get the gardening and taking care of kids and all the homemaking things, but they're helping each other all the time. So when women feel helped and supported and not alone, they make a lot of estrogen. And when they feel protected, they make even more estrogen. So those are the hormones of attraction. And we've lost those because as women become more masculine, and a man's more on his female side, you can't get this healthy attraction. You might get a little and then it goes away very quickly. So this is what's happening today. And of course, the biggest obstacle for men as they get older to maintain their testosterone and for women to maintain their estrogen. At menopause, women's estrogen will drop, but it's the whole thing about being feminine is to make sure your estrogen is higher than your testosterone. It's all about balance. It's not so much quantity, it's balance. And so you can have a sex drive your whole life and enjoy that with your intimate partner. If you understand how to balance, through relationship skills are one thing, but the other side of it is it's biology. When you have this belly fat, which is toxic, your body holds on to those toxics and fat. And then just the fact that you get belly fat will cause you to put on more fat. So this is a negative loop. And we look at health during the whole COVID epidemic, the people who died, 90% of them were obese. They all had belly fat. Your immune system shuts down when you have belly fat. This is how people get older fast. Yeah. So anyway, if people want to know more about this, they can look up Dr. Arciero in his books on protein pacing. If they want to be guided into the products that I use, which have the protein and the enzymes in it, along with the other program he recommends is 5 days of lots of this protein paced at times during the day, then 2 days where you eat less calories of protein, but only protein. So it's protein soup. So collagen soup, bone broth. So you have bone broth during the day, and every 2 hours you have a snack of protein, and you go through that. And so you don't feel hungry at all because you've got all this protein in your body. And all the snacking people do, I mean, I know I was gaining weight because I would snack at night. Even though I was doing intermittent fasting, I put it in my little window and had snacks at night. And now I can snack every night on the shake, this delicious shake, which has no sugar. It starts out with sugar, but when you incubate it, the sugar gets used up, the protein breaks down, you just get these pure amino acids that go into your system, and you feel no hunger at all. And so you're basically satisfied. And yet you're losing weight. And anytime you lose weight, you have more energy and you're excited. So it's a good thing.
Wow. Wow.
So if they go to marsvenus.com and they go to contact me, you'll see contact me. You send a letter, just say, I heard John talking about it. If he wants if you want more information, then I'll have one of my partners in this give you a call and they'll explain it to you through the whole process.
Wow.
A lot of questions people ask.
Yes. You're hitting every aspect here. Our spirituality, our physical vessel. Yes, all these.
And the heart,
And the heart.
gender is
Yes.
so important.
Yes. Thank you so much. So much wisdom, so much helpful information. Thank you for your presence on the planet and your beautiful light work.
It's very good to see you again. I wish you the very best.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Gray. All the best to you.
Bye-bye.